INFPs are well known for being distracted and unable to focus on one thing and accomplish their dreams because we have so many aspirations, we have so many passions, we're all over the place, right? So I want to tell you about 4 different things that I do and that I recommend to other INFPs, both out in the wild and coaching clients as well. So the first thing is just a basic, this is point 0, okay? We need a basic understanding of our personality type because it gives you a lot of clarity as to why you do the things that you do. And if you understand why you do them, then you tend to put less like pain and baggage on yourself. You stop hating yourself so much and you're just like, oh, this is just kind of how my brain is wired. And then you can work with it. You can adapt to it. And you can delegate out the other things that, are difficult for you. So first of all, just understand that your dominant function as an INFP is what's called Introverted Feeling. This is your soul. This is your conscience. If you're imagining it as a character within the questing party of your mind, this cast of characters in your psyche, it's what I call the soul, and it's like a healer. It's like a priest-like character. And it's always wanting to make sure that you're doing the right thing, that all your parts are aligned, that you're able to shield yourself and protect yourself, and you've got this kind of like squishiness to you. It's really about making evaluations, value-based assessments of what is good and what is bad. Okay, sorry, there's construction stuff over here. You'll see it soon. And so we filter every decision through that. It's really important. Hopefully it's not too loud here. Hold on a second. Jeez. And then we have our auxiliary function, another main player within our fellowship of our mind here. I know I keep changing the names. I don't know, if you got one that you like, let me know. But this is Extraverted Intuition. This is what I call the explorer, and it is about exploring different possibilities and wondering, what if you do this thing? What if you do this thing? What emerges from each new choice that you make, each new option, each new thing? And it's like this squirrely character that's always looking for some new novel adventure. And not adventure for the sake of sensory stimulation, but adventure for the sake of possibility, what could happen. So those 2 voices are always going to be there telling you what you should do, advising you what you should do. It's like, I gotta follow my heart, I gotta do what feels right. But what about all this? What about this idea? What about this idea? It's so exciting to follow those. Real quick, we do have 2 other players that are really important. You have Introverted Sensing, what I call the guardian. This is, I imagine, like a turtle, like this really tanky, stalwart turtle that is just like slow to move, slow to take action. And once it sets its mind on a direction, it just wants to keep following that. Like, I've decided I'm going this way, I'm gonna go this way. And it just kind of slow and steady makes its way there. Really, it's about checking in what worked in the past and bringing forward that archetypal understanding of what is bound to work, what is likely to work based off the things that happened in the past. And then we have Extraverted Thinking. This is what I imagine as a commander. This is about getting things done, checking things off the list. And we have a lot of inferiority complex around this. A big struggle around, like, I'm just not getting enough done. I don't know how to accomplish these things. I don't know how to manage resources or delegate tasks, stick to a schedule. And that is definitely an issue that comes up a lot when we're talking about how do I stay focused and get something done. Okay, so you have all these characters. Thank you for staying with me with this. And now, man, there's construction everywhere. Japan is booming. So then we also have the first aspect that I want to talk about is making sure that what you do is important to you. Okay? Make sure that it is valuable to you, that you are passionate about it, and you will stick to it. If you don't care about it, you're not going to do it, right? If it's not tied to like all these important things in your life, it's really hard to stick with it. So wrap it in emotion. Who is it going to impact? How is it going to impact your life? Ask yourself these big questions of like, if you never do it, what's going to happen in life? Are you going to regret it? Are you going to look back 30 years from now and be like, man, I wasted it. I wasted my life. I wasted my chance because I didn't do this thing. Use that sense of emotion as a superpower, as a strength to just to bring forward more passion. Okay? What happens if you don't do it? What happens if you do it? Who are you going to help? How is it going to make a difference in the world if you actually write that story? And that girl who is interested in marine biology reads your story. It's like, I can do it, Mom. You know, I'm gonna be a marine biologist. And they go out and they change the world. That's a powerful emotion, right? So use it. Okay, use it to sell yourself on doing the things that you don't feel like doing right now, so that your future you applauds you and thanks you for showing up. That's number one, okay? Number two, give yourself a deadline. Like, you know, if you say, I'll get it done someday, well, hopefully you'll get it done someday. But when is someday? You know, someday heroes, as I call it, is like those of us who are just like saying, you know, I'll do it. Someday I'll wake up and I'll be healthy and I'll be fit and I'll, you know, spread love around the world. I'll be a happy person. Like, when is someday gonna come? I don't know, but likely it's not. So make sure that you actually, oh damn, and dragonflies everywhere. I was gonna show them. Yeah, so make sure that you have a deadline and you stick with it and make it shorter than you expect, and then cut that in half. You know, like, I'll get it done in 3 years. Okay, do it in a year and a half, and then actually you can probably cut it down even further. Just put that intensity and that pressure onto focusing on getting the things done that you really want to get done in life, and you will find a way of doing it. That extroverted intuition, your explorer, will find a way of saying, okay, I'm limited now on the resources that I have. How can I make this happen? How can I make it happen fast? You know, that's that perceiver energy that we have of just like, we get extremely excited about a new project, a new idea, and we will find ways of getting it done, right? And if you have an unlimited timeline, then it just drags on and you get distracted by other things and you never actually get that hit of excitement and dopamine when something actually gets completed and you can share it with other people. And that is way more exciting and fulfilling than just imagining it. I was gonna go over there, but there's construction. I also don't want to stand in front of this house, so I'm gonna turn back. And next we have okay, so if you have all these different ideas, right, make sure that they're linked to one like core pillar of something that is important to you, okay? For me, like self-development and personality type. Pretty much everything I do is connected to that. Any little story I might write, even like music I might make, images, courses, all these things, they're always connected back to that. Because I found that that is my core thing that excites me, is the quest for self-development. So for you, I also recommend finding and continuously looking for, like, I don't stop, I'm not always like, okay, I'm done looking, everything's personality type and self-development, but it does gravitate towards that. Like, I know that that is one of the core like content pillars of my life. Spoken like a YouTuber, right? So with yourself, like look into your past, look into, you know, all the different things that you've explored, your passions and everything like that, and figure out like what do you keep coming back to. And then when you get distracted, it's, you know, check why that is. Is it because you've strayed from that so far that you're just not interested in it anymore? Well, if so, maybe you can like lasso it and bring it back in. Maybe you can loop it back to the core passions that you have. Also, it can help you like limit your explorations so that you don't get so like frazzled. So for example, like if I start studying like, I don't know, engineering, for some reason I get into engineering or architecture, maybe that's outside of the normal things that I actually care about. And so I might fizzle out a lot faster, right? So if I know that, if I start studying engineering, I'm like, you know, maybe I should just like embrace it for a little bit, like a week or two, and then just come back to my normal core hobbies and habits. It's an option, it's an idea. You know, there's definitely a lot to say about looking into like different, like broadening your schema, right? Studying engineering could actually teach me something about self-development and personality type that I wouldn't have known if I didn't go to another domain, right? But that is also bringing it back into those things that I'm interested in, okay? So find your core content pillars, your core interests of your life, and then, you know, make sure that everything is tied to that, and you won't feel so frazzled. It is important to know though, like if you focus on one thing, then all your energy is going in that direction, right? And you will make more progress. I know it sucks to say, but you will make more progress if you wake up and just focus on one thing. That's it, right? Like Michael Phelps, a swimmer. Like the only thing to do on his to-do list is swim. Like, that's it. Like he's just got this list, wake up, swim. That's it, because that's his core focus. And so all of his energy goes in there, right? That's kind of like what I was talking about with those core interests and pillars, right? And make sure that they're all going in one direction. But if you study too many things and you start going this way and this way and this way, you make a course over here, you start this project over here, and it spreads out, and then you get exhausted and you don't feel as fulfilled because you haven't actually done, like completed those things that you say are important to you. And the last one, make sure that it's fun. Make sure that it's interesting. If it's not, you're gonna get distracted. You're not gonna feel fulfilled about it. So make sure that you find constant ways to keep the novelty and keep the excitement there. If you're getting bored with it, like it's likely because you're not doing something new. Like you feel you've conquered this, you feel you've mastered it, and you've got all the information, or maybe you're afraid of stepping outside your comfort zone a bit more. Maybe you feel like you know it, but you also know that there's so much more to learn about it. So I would suggest finding ways of like bringing in novelty, you know, making sure that it's just something that you can consistently explore and have fun doing it, so that you can wake up and be like, this is new, this is good. I'm gonna keep tapping into that perceiver, that explorer energy, and then tie it back again to your values and your soul and what is important to you. Okay, so those are the 4 ways. See if I can remember them. 1, make sure that it's really important to you, that you're passionate about it. 2, make sure that you have a deadline. 3, make sure it's tied to a core pillar of interest. And 4, make sure that it's fun and interesting. But if I said all that stuff at the start in that list, that order, then you'd be like, okay, I got it. And then you might have clicked off, you know? So I hope that this explanation going into more depth was helpful. as I explained it. And let us know, as always, what it is that you do to keep you focused on your passions and your joys. Sure, there are a bunch of like mechanical things that you can do, but my experience as an INFP and talking to INFPs all day and Evolve, the community, evolve.geekpsychology.com, like that mechanical stuff feels like it's good. We get excited about it. We're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna create this list and I've got all these different things and I'm gonna have this alarm and this alarm, and then it just like, it feels like more work than anything. So if you tie it to those passions, those 4 things that I talked about, then it should be a lot easier. Let me know about your progress. You can always email me too. All right, good luck, have fun. Peace.